That is regarding the means of distribution. When I was starting the class, I told you about types of distribution as well as the means of distribution. And going to the types of distribution, ഭയങ്കര ഡിസ്റ്റർബൻസ് ആണ് കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ കുഴപ്പമില്ല കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷമൊക്കെ ഈ സാധനം എല്ലാ വർഷവും ഉണ്ടാവും ഞങ്ങളിവിടെ നിന്ന് ഒച്ചയെടുത്ത് ബഹളമുണ്ടാക്കിയില്ലെന്ന് നോക്കത്തില്ല മൈക്ക് വെച്ചാൽ കാരണം എനിക്കധികം ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടില്ല നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കേൾക്കാമല്ലോ ഒളിയും കൂട്ടുന്ന കാര്യമല്ലോ ഓക്കെ ദാറ്റ്സ് ഫൈൻ സോ കമ്മിങ് ടു ദ means of distribution means how animals are spreading from or moving from one area to another area. Earlier we were discussing what are the types, what are the different patterns exhibited by animals. Now in the use of means of distribution, how animals are moving from one area to another area. All animals do not spread across the sea or other barriers with the same speed. Some spread faster and others are moving slowly, and some are not able to cross the barrier at all. For example, if it is a river or if it is an ocean, some animals may be able to cross the ocean or that river at a faster speed because they will be very good in swimming. And those animals which have good swimming ability can easily cross the river. But some animals may not be very good in swimming, their swimming ability may be poor. And because of that, they need more time to cross a river. Sometimes you can see that some deers or other type of antelopes are crossing the river barrier. Now, in such okay. So coming to the speed at which, so second point is that distribution also depends on animals' body size, psychology, reproductive rate, locomotory organ. That is, if it is in the case of swimming or it is in the case of flying, some animals are able to fly for a longer time. There are animals which are, you might have heard about a word called Arctic tern. In the case of Arctic tern, it is capable of flying from Arctic region up to the Antarctic region. So if you take, and there are many other birds which are not even capable of flying even thousands of kilometers. So the ability to migrate, ability to move from one area depends on several factors. One factor is that it is the body's and the size of the animal. If animal is stronger or physiologically more healthy, and there is another factor called metabolic rate. Some animals will be having higher metabolic rate, so they will be able to move more faster. And some animals will be having more stronger, more powerful locomotory organ. For example, if it is the use of birds, birds possessing good flying, good stronger feathers, they can easily move from one part of the area to one part to another part very easily. So there are a number of factors which are controlling or which are controlling the ability of animals to move from one place to another. And most important is the physiological endurance. Physiological endurance means the ability of the animal to work to fly or swim continuously for a longer time. That is the meaning of the word. It simply means physiological power or physiological body power or physiological strength. That is the meaning of the word physiological endurance. And some means to carry them to longer distance. That is why some animals are able to fly for a longer time, swim for a longer time, or run for a longer time. So those animals which have that physiological capacity can easily migrate from one area to another area very easily, and they will be more widely spread in other parts of the world. And some of the important means of dispersal animals are using are will be discussed in the coming slides. First one is the land bridges. Earlier, we were discussing about land bridges in many parts of the world. So there is a land bridge. If you take India, here there is a land bridge. I told you about that. It was on Park Strait. Now, if you look at the Park Strait, it is only a string of five. Okay. Frames one off. Okay. So if you look at this slide, ഒരു പോകുന്നുണ്ട് ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് മൂന്ന് നാല് അഞ്ച്. Okay. So now listen here. So one important type of means used by animals for moving from one area to another area, especially if there is an ocean, it is the presence of land bridge. There are different types of different land bridges present here. One I told you about this land bridge called the Park Strait. Here earlier I was discussing about the Australian. See, this is a group of islands, and these islands were all connected to the up to Australia. Right now they are all formed of a discontinuous island. But sometimes in the geological past, they were all attached together so that animals from Asia can easily move to Australia. Right now, it may not be possible because they are all disconnected. But sometimes these islands were connected with each other so that animals can easily move from one part Asia to Australia. Now, there are many other land bridges here. Here you can find there is a land bridge called Panama. So what is this? Is a Central America, and I think in the earlier class I was discussing that Central American land bridge. This formation of Central American land bridge was not here before that 30 lakhs years, so 3 million years back. So before 3 million years back, this all the North America and South America were two separate continents. There was no land connection, and that land connection came into existence around 3 million years ago. So from that time, animals were more easily capable of. Animals can easily move from South America to North America and North to South America. So there was a land bridge here. Now another land bridge here. Here you can feel. Look at that. There is a strait called Bering Strait. Now what you are seeing here, this is the Siberia. That is this is India. If you go to this is the Siberia. This part is the Russia, and this end is the Siberia. Now, if you look at on the surface of the globe, if you look at that, this North America. This is the north of Canada, USA, Canada, and this part is the Alaska. And if you look at the extreme end of extreme west of Alaska, it is near to Siberia. That is Siberia and the Siberia of the Russia and Alaska of the northern North America are very close to each other. And now it is separated by a sea called Bering Strait. But in several times in the geological past, we can find a land connection between the Siberia as well as North America, Alaska of the North America, and that bridge is known as Bering Land Bridge. So from the Bering Land Bridge, animals present in the North America, for example, you can take the case of camel. Camel was evolved in the case of the formation of the camel took place in North America. From North America, the ancestors of the camel migrated into Asia. From Asia, they migrated into Africa. So it was using this Bering land bridge. These animals were capable of moving from North America to South America as well as Asia and Africa. So there is another important land bridge used by animals. Now we will come back to that. So these are land connection between two large land masses. Land masses means between it means two large continents. For example, if you see in the case of South America, it is a land connection between North America and South America. Then, so these are land connection between two large land masses which are separated by sea, and they, that may have existed in the past and facilitated movement of animals across them. So that is the that is the definition of the land bridge. And the theory of land bridge was formulated to explain the discontinuous distribution of animals in the continents that are presently separated by thousands of kilometers away. So, for example, if you look at this you can say now we can find in on Australia marsupial animals, and marsupial animals reach Australia mainly through this Asian land bridge from Asia to Australia. Now that land bridge has been converted into series of separate islands. Now animals are not able to move from Asia to Australia easily. But that bridge was there for a long time, and using that bridge, marsupial animals came into Australia. So now why there is no placental animals in Australia is because when the placental animals were formed or evolved or originated, this land connection between Asia and Australia disappeared. It was due to the disappearance of land connection between Asia and Australia that there are no placental animals are now existing in Australia. So that is the reason for the absence of placental mammals as well as the presence of marsupial mammals. And since placental mammals were not able to reach Australia, the ancient primitive mammals called marsupial mammals, which were surviving the, could easily live there without any kind of competition or enemies. So that is what happened in the case of Australia. Then ostrich landfishes occur in South America, Africa, Australia, and few species of marsupials are found in South America apart from their home in Australia. And we were discussing that in the last class that alligators are present in America as well as in China. Now, coming to the land bridges, we can find basically there are two minor modification of land bridge. One is corridor bridge, other is a filter bridge. We will explain what is a corridor bridge. Corridor bridge, these are corridor bridge. These are land connections of continent size, stretching across the ocean and connecting two continents. For example, if you look at that, this is the very large continent, very large land masses connecting to separate continent. Then it is called as corridor bridge. When a single continental mass called Gondwana land that was existing in Mesozoic, all the southern continent, namely South America, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, were connected by huge corridors across which animals could easily migrate. See, this is what is. So these are all examples of corridor grids. What happens is that here the North America, South America, and Africa are very much connected by large land areas. Such kinds of bridges are known as corridor bridges. So here from South America they can go to Africa, or Africa to South America, or from Africa to Asia or North America. That was all possible because of this large area of connection between them. So corridor bridge, in this of corridor bridge, they are land connections of continent size, very large sized land connection is known as a corridor bridge. The continuity of the southern land masses can account for the distribution of marsupials, landfishes, flightless birds, side-neck turtles, crocodiles. If we presume that bridges exist after the origin of these groups, Antarctica was a habitable continent at that time. Now, if you look at that, here you can see that the Antarctica was not at this position several years ago or several millions years back. It was Antarctica more towards the northern region. and only a small portion of Antarctica was to the extreme south. And Australia, this is Australia. Australia was also not in in this area. So during that time, Antarctica was much more warmer, and many animals were easily able to survive in Antarctica. So there is a many meaning, some examples of corridor. So in this corridor bridge, the point that you have to keep in your mind is that they are very large sized a large sized land connection like that of a continent is known as a corridor bridge. Now another is the then we have some exam we have to study about Panama corridor. Here also this regarding the Panama corridor during the Cretaceous and early Paleocene, North America and South America were connected by a narrow corridor, and through which migrate to south marsupials and early placentals such as Condylarthra, which were ancestors of modern ungulates. So this is the present day South American bridge or Panama bridge. You can see that it is connecting Colombia in South America with the Mexican peninsula in the North American continent. So it's a very large sized continent, large sized land bridge. Now, if you look at this map again, you can see that it was using this land bridge that came into existence 3 million years back. The camels which has evolved, formed in the North America, moved into the South America. So that was the importance of this land bridge. So in this Panama land bridge, the one importance is that the Condylarthra means which are ancestors of modern ungulates. Ungulates means the horse-like animals. These horse-like animals reached South America using this Panama bridge. They have evolved in North America. The horse-like animals have evolved in North America, and from North America they reached South America. So formation of ungulates or horse-like mammals were took place in North America. It was by using the Panama Bridge that these animals reached South America. Then another case is the case of marsupials. These are marsupials. Some of the marsupials that we are finding right now in South America have their form have their evolution or origin in North America. From North America, opossums like marsupial reached South America. That's how the movement of marsupial opossum from North America to South America, they also utilize the Panama Bridge. So that is another importance of Panama corridor. Then after the Pleistocene, 55 to 65 million years ago, this corridor submerged. That is, if you take the period between 55 million years back to 65 million years ago, we cannot see any Panama corridor there. This North America and South America were two separate continents. Here also you can see that. In some parts of the time, see around this time, around 50, say there was no land connection. This is a separate continent and this is another separate continent. And this land connection we here also around 150 million years ago there was no land connection. But if you just take that before 225 million years ago there was land connection. So sometimes there was land connection, and after around by the time of 150 million years ago land disappeared. Again 100 million years ago there was no land connection. Up to 30 million years ago we cannot see any land connection between North America and South America. So that is an importance of. So during the Paleocene period, there was no land connection, but there were in the ancient period there was a land connection. Now, what is the importance of disappearance of this land connection? Now, sometimes if you look at that, sometimes land connections are existing. Sometimes land connection disappeared. When land connections are existing, animals from north to can migrate to south. From south to they can migrate to north. So when the disappearance of land connection took place, what happened is that animals which were the gene pool got separated. Their gene pool or gene diversity got separated, and animals present in south they evolved into separate species. Animals which were existing in the north they formed into another new species. So that okay. So the importance of Panama corridor is that Panama corridor, the presence of Panama corridor and disappearance of Panama corridor. These are two major events in the history of the world. When the Panama corridor appeared, they allowed the movement of animals. When they disappeared, what happened? The animals got separated, and animals present in South America became a new species, and those present in North America became another new species. So that is the importance of this Panama corridor, and this joining of two corridor took place around 5 to 2.5 million years ago. MYA means million years ago, facilitating the advent of New World monkeys, rodents, and placental carnivores. So that is the importance of that. That is this joining reappearance of Panama corridor took place around 33 million years back. So during that time, monkeys from South America can migrate to North America, and rodents from and placental carnivores from North America could also migrate to South America. So these are some of the examples of animals present which have migrated. Then another type of bridge is known as a filter bridge. Now filter bridges are series of islands between two land masses that allow some animals to spread across but stop other animals. What is the name purpose of filter? You are using filter for many purpose because in any filter they allow passage of some material but do not allow the passage of some other material. So that is the importance of any filter. So in the case of filter bridges, these are also like that. Sometimes some filter bridges allow only the passage of smaller animals. Bigger animals may not be able to go through that bridges. Sometimes only bigger animals may be able to go, smaller animals may not be able to go. Some bridges may be allowing only those animals which have good swimming ability, and those which do not have good swimming ability may not be able to cross that. So filter bridges are series of islands between two land masses that allow some animals to spread across but stop others. So that is the importance of filter bridges and corridor bridges. Corridor bridge you have to keep in your mind. These are very large continent size land connection. But in the use of filter bridges, these are simply a series of islands. And the importance of filter bridges is that they will be allowing the passage of some animals, not all animals. The animals could spread by island hopping. Island hopping means here, if you look at that, if you look at this Asian scenery again, this here you get that. Here there are so many small islands are there. So those animals can swim from one island to a nearby island, can easily reach from Asia to Australia. And that kind of jumping from one island to another island is known as island hopping. So, or some animals may be able to fly. Those animals which are capable of flying 10 or 15 kilometers or 100 kilometers, they can reach from Asia to Australia. Those animals which are able to swim 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers, they will be able to reach from Asia to Australia. So that is the meaning of island hopping. Now in the case of island hopping, we are saying that Filter bridges are series of islands between two land masses that allow some animals to spread but stop other animals. And second point is that animals are spreading by island hopping. Island hopping simply means hop means to jump from one island to another. That is a literal meaning. Actually, animals are either swimming from one island to another island or they will be flying from one island to another island. So, whatever method they are using, so like swimming, then flying, another method is rafting. Changada, raft is a changada. So, by using a raft, they can also move from one island to another island. And fourth means is by using wind. When heavy wind is the smaller animals like butterflies or insects, they can easily get carried away by wind and they reach a nearby island which are 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers away. So these are the different types of means which are used by animals for crossing the filter bridges. Such a filter bridge now exists between Oriental and Australian region through valleys. So this is a very good example of filter bridge that you can see here. So this bridge that you are seeing here, is a very good example of this Asian or Australian bridge. This bridge is a very good example of filter bridge because it won't allow all animals to move from Asia to Australia. Only those animals which have good swimming ability, or only those animals which can easily carried by winds, or those animals which have a good flying ability, are able to reach Australia from Asia. So that is the importance of the filter bridges. And two regions separated by chain of islands were Malay archipelago. And this is known as a Malayan archipelago. Archipelago simply means a island group or a group of islands. The word archipelago is mean the group of islands is known as archipelago. So by using the Malayan archipelago, these islands these animals migrate from or moved from Asian region to Australian region. Then another is the Bering Strait. Bering Strait is also contains a chain of islands that served as a filter bridge during the Oligocene period and Miocene period. And then after the Pleistocene between Eastern Asia and Alaskan side of North America. Here you can see that. Here if you look at here this is a very narrow area. The sea is very narrow, very shallow here, not very deep. So and here also we can find many closely connected islands are there. So those animals which can move from one island to another island can easily cross from North America into Asia. So that was the method used by the ancestors of horse to reach from North America to Asia. From Asia they even moved to Africa. So that is the method used by the ancestors of ungulates or horses. And during the late Cretaceous period, Africa got disconnected from Eurasia, which was surrounding by sea on all sides, and perhaps had a filter bridge in the north, which lasted until Oligocene. Now read that sentence once again. During the Cretaceous period, Africa got separated from Eurasia. What is the meaning of that? Right now, if you look at the world map. Here, this is the Africa, and this is the Europe. Now, Africa and Europe are very close to each other. But during the Cretaceous period, several million years back, this land connection was not here. This land connection through Arabia was not there. So Africa was completely separated by sea from Europe. So animals were not able to migrate from Europe into Africa or Africa to the Europe. So that is another case of filter bridge. You can see that. So during the Cretaceous period, Africa got separated from Eurasia, from Europe and Asia, and was surrounded by sea. Then arboreal primates such as lemur and prosomians, which are also monkeys like and insectivore, arrived in Africa from Palearctic through this route and later evolved into old world monkeys and apes. What is the importance? These are the monkeys like lemur. Right now, if you look at if you check the animal diversity of Europe, we cannot find any monkeys like lemur there. But if you look at the Australia, if you look at the African region, there are many lemurs in these parts of Africa, especially in the southern part of the Africa, and also in the Madagascar. And these monkeys, which are right now existing in Africa, came from Europe to Africa, and their evolution was not evolution or origin was not in Africa. Their origin was in Europe or Eurasia. From Europe, they reached Africa through this route. So that is the importance of this land connection that is now existing between Africa and Europe. So that is how the filter bridges came into that is the importance of filter bridges. Then that's all regarding the filter bridges. Here also you can find several pictures regarding the land connection. See, this is the Bering Strait. What the picture that is showing is the Bering Strait. See, this is the Alaska of the USA, and this is the the eastern part of Russia. Now here, if you look at that, this colored area shows that this is the deep ocean. This means less deep. This means more, still lesser deep. So this brown color area means the sea is not very deep, more shallow. That is the mean. So in this portion there are many islands are there, and using these islands, animals cross from Siberia to Alaska and from Alaska to the Asia. And this strait is known by the name Bering Strait. See here also you can Asiatic Northern American Pleistocene filter beds. See, you can see that many animals were using that. The mammoth had their formation in the North America. They reached into the air. Then horse also used this. Many animals like bear, they moved into the Asia. Then ground sloth, they moved from North America to the Asia. So many animals are moving like this. So using the Bering Strait, and this filter bridge is known as the Asiatic North American Pleistocene filter bridge. That is during the Pleistocene period, this bridge was very active. Here also this is another case of how animals were able to reach from Asia. See that there are many animals from East Africa. They can use this bridge, this Arabian land bridge. Then they can came into the Indian region. From Indian region, they can reach to the Malaysian region. From Malaysian region, using this land area, they can reach Australia. So there exists a land route from Africa to Australia. So this is how many animals were able to reach Australia using the land connection. Now the second is the soup stakes, which we will be discussing in another class. So we will be stopping here.